Hey everyone, welcome back to First Play, the show where we learn the rules of playing a game for the first time and you get to watch us from home. Today we're playing Curios by AG, which is not out in general distribution yet. However, it will be available for what they call the big game night over at Gen Con. And then I believe they're also releasing it some days in stores. So August 1st will be when this comes into availability. We do have early copies because we're participating in Pop-Up Gen Con, and that's going to be in 10 days. So if you want to try out this game in real life, you can come down and check it out and play it with us on those days. Anything else I have to say? No. So Shelby, go ahead and read us the rules.
Okay, so short little rule book. Whether you're in it for the wealth or the fame, this is where your quest begins. Rogue archaeology means getting to the bottom of shipwrecks, ancient ruins, forgotten tombs, and forbidden temples to look for artifacts which will bring you the most fortune and glory. Grab your hat and leather coat, it's time to raid some tombs. Your goal is to collect artifacts worth the most points. You'll place your pawns on treasure sites to claim artifacts which are represented by these gems. The value of those artifacts is hidden until the end of the game, but as you play, you'll get hints about which locations may yield the best artifacts, and at the end of the game, the player with the most valuable artifact collection will win. Okay, so we placed random cards above each of the locations that will tell what the value of the artifacts are, and it can be a 1, 3, 5, or 7. So we're just telling you that. Everybody got dealt cards that were left over. And now we're going to actually launch into how we play the game. So, the game is played in 2 phases, Search for Treasure and Recruit Archaeologists. Search for Treasure. In this phase, you will have the chance to use your archaeologist pawns to collect artifacts from the treasure sites. Players take turns, starting with the first player and going clockwise until none of them have enough archaeologist pawns to collect any artifacts. On your turn, choose a treasure site. You must completely fill the empty column farthest to the left on the treasure site using your archaeologist pawns. If you do, you get to take an artifact from below the treasure site, if any are available, and place them in front of you. You cannot place pawns on a treasure site if all of the columns are full. So, John got the first player marker. We determined that randomly by picking pawns. So he's going to go first. He's going to have the cheapest artifacts by only having to place 1 pawn on each location to get a treasure there. Next person that wants to play on this place will place 2, 3, and so on.
But you only claim 1 on your turn?
Yes, you only claim 1 on your turn. After you've collected your artifact, the player to your left begins their turn, and then we go all the way around until we have no pawns left.
No pawns left.
Right. Which we all only start with 5 pawns. Which is why I told you to put 2 to the side, because there are 7 of each color, and then we get to retrieve archaeologists and recruit archaeologists in the next phase.
So what I'm deducing from this is that like I'm trying to figure out which one of these sites has the high card and go there first.
Right.
And this is the only clues you have at this point.
Yeah.
Is there going to be ways to discover cards in people's hands?
Let me see. Alright, so players continue taking turns until all players have placed their pawns and cannot place any more, and players have all passed. Once all players have passed and phase 1 ends, the player with the most archaeologist pawns at each treasure site will get an additional artifact from that site if any are available. If there is a tie, no one will get bonus artifacts. Then we all retrieve our archaeologists. Phase 2 is recruit treasure hunters. Okay. Starting with the first player, each player now has the opportunity to recruit another archaeologist pawn, taking turns going clockwise. When it's your turn, you must play 1 market card from your hand, face up on the table in front of you. This will give the other players a clue about the value of the artifacts, and then if you reveal a card, you get to take 1 archaeologist pawn of your color from the supply. So these additional 2. You'll have an additional archaeologist pawn to place at treasure sites that next round. If you don't want to reveal a card, you may pass without taking another archaeologist pawn. After all players have had their turn to recruit new archaeologist pawns or pass, phase 2 is over. Pass the first player token to the next player, and a new round of treasure hunting can begin. Okay, there's also a side deck if you're playing with a 2-player game, but we're not. That adds extra rules. Ending of the game. Continue playing round after round until 2 or more treasure sites have run out of artifacts, and the game ends at the end of that round. Flip over the 4 face-down treasure cards and tally points.
So, at the most, you're going to reveal 2 cards because you can only get 2 guys.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And each of us have 4 in our hand. So
2 of them are going to end up face up if you want more archaeologists.
right. So.
And they get left face up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's interesting.
It's not a memory game.
Well, no, but I mean, there's a certain strategy to not revealing cards.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Okay, so I gotta
that's-
pick first. And deducing by what I have in my hand and a bit of personal favoritism, we're gonna go to the ancient Coliseum. It's the further left.
Left
Yeah.
is-
This
and
for
then
you,
wow.
yeah, because we got the camera.
you
So
get-
then you get to take 1.
Yay! So then this, I assume, will be multiplied by whatever value this is. So I'm taking bets on which gems or which artifacts are worth the most.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And then does this move around, I'm guessing?
Yes, that at the end of the second phase, yeah. So okay, I'm gonna go over here. And then we're back to John.
Take another
Take 1.
Oh yeah, keep forgetting about that part. Probably important. Wait, is it that way? Oh,
Yeah, so now I
2,
have to spend
then
2.
3, got it,
Yeah,
got it,
so
got
on
it,
and so
got it.
forth, until nobody can spend anymore, and then we move on to phase 2.
Yeah.
And whoever has the most gets what?
So once we're at the end of phase 1, whoever has the most on a card will get an additional 1. So like over there, I'm winning right now.
Winning hashtag.
Well, I'm not going to be able to play the last one. Because,
Yeah, well, same here. None of us.
No.
are.
Well, you
Where?
you started, so you're going to get a 3rd turn. I'm not.
But where am I gonna place a 1?
I know,
No,
but you're
but
still
you-
going to get 3, and I'm only going to get 2.
Yeah. Right, understood.
Because there's not going to be a 2 space available unless somebody
Right.
does a 3 for some reason right now.
Right,
yeah,
which
suppose.
See what I
John
mean? If you
could.
guys both take the 2s, I
Yeah.
get shut out.
Yeah.
John could take the 3 over there, but then
Well,
He
he
doesn't
might
do it,
find
yeah.
that the strategy, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying I can see where.
Yeah. That's why recruiting an archaeologist
Yeah.
is not a bad idea.
Well, yeah, okay. Depending on the number of players, what's the player count? 4
1 to
maximum?
5.
1 to 5. Okay.
Yeah, 1 to 5.
So he is going to take a 3 and leave a 2 available to me because he wants the majority purple.
Right.
There is that decision
Yeah.
to be made. Yes.
I'm gonna go 2 here.
Well, that leaves me but one choice.
Yep. So okay, so we've reached the end of phase 1. Now we all get bonus artifacts based on how much is on the card. So Mike gets one of those. Mike also gets one of those. John gets one of the purple ones, and I get one of the yellow. And then we all take our archaeologist back. Okay.
Worked out differently than I
Then-
expected.
Starting with the first player, each player now has the opportunity to recruit another archaeologist, taking turns going clockwise.
Ooh,
By playing
this
a
is going to
card.
be interesting. Okay.
It's hard to reveal if you're gonna do that, because if you reveal a low number, you're telling them that there isn't a known number there. If you reveal a high number, you're giving them for sure that's not where you wanna go.
Yep.
Well, but then there's the middle numbers 3 and 5. It could be higher, it could be lower.
Yeah.
But if you're only
Yeah.
stuck with 1s and 7s,
That's true.
you
Ones
could.
and 7s are kind of nice in my opinion, actually.
which
Well,
is-
the
it's
7,
very
yeah.
fixed information
Yeah.
over. Okay, well, the low card is definitely not in the one in this spot.
So you're first, John. You reveal a card if you want. 3 it down. Alright, I'm gonna say Coliseum.
And then you pass the first player marker, right?
Yep, you've passed the first player marker to the left, which is gonna be me.
So 5 on Coliseum, huh?
Yep.
So it's. That's interesting. So that's leaves an interesting decision, doesn't it? You've got 3 and you got 2. What happens when there's a tie?
I read that. If there's a tie, no one gets the bonus artifact on the treasure site.
Oh, so. Well, let's not waste the resource then. Let's get my one that I'm gonna get instead of gambling on. And John feels the same way. Yep. Pinky's gonna come out ahead.
So now for bonuses. Go on there. Okay, everybody takes theirs back.
And I'm gonna go first, aren't I? But well, first off, we're gonna see if you're gonna reveal a card or not.
Yep.
Sure.
Well, don't reveal it yet. You put it face down, right?
No, I reveal
reveal
it
it.
because we're at that stage. So.
Look at you people, all with the middle cards.
Mm-hmm. That's going to beg the question then. So you played
interesting.
5 there. And
that's kind of cool.
There, so
they make a completed. When you line them up, they make a completed picture.
Do they?
Yeah, they're.
Oh, they do. That's
they make
cool.
a. That's kind of cool.
Well, okay, so
there you
that's
go,
kind
sir.
of interesting, I'd say. So I got eggs in only 2 baskets.
Let me read this again. Round after round, until 2 or more treasure sites have run out of artifacts, the game ends at the end of the round. So even if you run out of artifacts,
it's probably going to end on this round.
well, yeah, but I'm just saying we finished the whole round. It's not just,
sure.
You know, it ends.
All right, so, well, the red is either high or low. Boy, that is just
Yep.
That's just like, yeah. So, that begs the question. So you played that, and that's like that. Wow, that's
You know, John played a 1 card, but I was gonna laugh if we ended up with all 1s on the table.
Median Dynasty.
There's one that's gone.
And no point to put it there anymore. How is there?
Wow, that's just like crazy stuff. All right, we'll just do it that way. What the heck?
I got the sampler back. There's 2 left over there, isn't there? So I think that's gonna be worth it.
And you will get the extra if you go there.
Yeah,
and you
and over
won't
here.
get the extra you go there.
Yeah, but that seems to be worth some
There's
points
no
by what
extra.
people are doing.
They're all worth something.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's at least worth 1, so.
Sure, let's go for 2 of the unknown, and hopefully it isn't. Yes.
Okay.
So you get that one, and then the 2 bonus ones go to.
based on the bonus one, you get that one and that one.
And then we're scoring.
Okay, so scoring. Flip over their face down, mark a card above the treasure sites. Number on these cards determine the value for each artifact of that color. So if the market card above the shipwreck shows a value of 3, each blue gem
It was either
would be
5
worth
or
3
7
points.
down there.
Out of the value of our artifacts, the player with the highest total wins.
I knew these 2 weren't 7s.
Okay, so this is a 5.
I suspected that's 'cause
Yeah,
nobody
I
was
had
going there
That's
after
a 3.
price.
That was worth less than I thought.
I
it
had
was.
the 7s for those 2. So
Well, I had
I got stuck with 4 1s or 3 1s. Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah, so all right, so let's see what's going on here. Let's score one at a time. So 5, this is this color. 5, 10, 15.
I got 1.
Let me get a calculator going here.
Let's see. 3, 6, 8 times 29.
50. Next is the green.
34.
That's 6. And then what have I got down there? Oh, this is going to be worth a
That
kind
must
of
have been
good
nice
amount.
to know.
yeah, I was like, oh.
2 colors, never touch them.
Yeah.
This amount of points here. So 5, 10, 20.
Yeah, I mean that's just like
Yeah,
Ten,
that was
no
no
wonder.
hand. I was like, meh, I know.
there's
what
a
I'm doing.
difference. There's a
Yep.
there's a difference.
And then 3 points. 49?
I
Yeah,
think I got
clobbered.
57.
This is
5, 10.
Yeah,
Dead
yeah,
giveaway.
yeah.
30,
That's nice.
Don't ever buy
55,
any of those 2.
57.
Yeah, yeah.
And and because I had these, I was buying those 2 until I discovered
Yeah.
that something was wrong with red.
Nice. Okay.
So,
give us
there
a
you
minute,
go.
guys, and
I
then
got
we'll,
clobbered.
we'll get back to our thoughts. Thanks for
Well,
watching.
I just got lucky with my